Hello! It is a privilege to be here today to speak about a subject that holds immense promise for the future of agriculture in Southern Africa and beyond: high-value horticultural crops and their role in transforming the lives of smallholder farmers. We often talk about agricultural transformation, rural development, food security, and economic empowerment. But what if the answers to these large-scale challenges could be found in the hands of small-scale farmers, many of whom cultivate less than 1 hectare of land? Today, I will explore what makes high-value crops a game-changer, the specific crops leading this transformation, the challenges we must overcome, and the pivotal role of institutions like AHASA in building a supportive agricultural ecosystem. Let us begin by understanding the core question: why high-value horticultural crops? Across Africa, and particularly in Southern Africa, smallholder farmers make up the majority of agricultural producers, yet many remain trapped in cycles of subsistence, low productivity, and economic vulnerability. Most depend on staple crops such as maize, cassava, or sorghum. Crops that offer minimal returns, are vulnerable to climate variability, and often require large land expanses to be viable. High-value horticultural crops offer a compelling alternative. These include vegetables, fruits, herbs, and cut flowers, commodities with higher market prices, shorter growth cycles, and greater income potential per unit of land. Let me illustrate. A farmer planting maize on a hectare may barely break even. But the same hectare, planted with cherry tomatoes or bell peppers, can generate 2 to 3 times the income, even after accounting for inputs and labor. Moreover, many high-value crops such as spinach, kale, or chilies mature in 30 to 90 days. This enables multiple harvests per year, offering farmers a consistent income stream, in contrast to the long seasons required by staples. This means greater cash flow, reduced income gaps, and more agile adaptation to changing markets and weather conditions. So, what crops are we talking about? Let's take a closer look at some of the most promising high-value crops for smallholder farmers, which are: 1. Tomatoes and bell peppers. Widely consumed and versatile, these crops are in perpetual demand. With greenhouse cultivation and proper pest control, farmers can achieve several harvests annually. Hybrid varieties enhance yield and shelf life. 2. Capsicum, which is chili peppers. Used both in cuisine and traditional medicine, chilies offer high returns per kilogram. They can be dried for easier storage and trade, ideal for expanding market reach. 3. Leafy greens such as spinach, kale, amaranth. Fast-growing and nutrient-rich, they cater to health-conscious urban consumers and offer income within weeks of planting, perfect for small plots and peri-urban farmers. 4. Strawberries, a premium fruit that commands top prices in fresh produce markets. When grown in containers or raised beds, strawberries are manageable in small spaces and sell well in urban supermarkets and hotels. 5. Hass avocados. With rising global demand, avocados, particularly the Hass variety, offer long-term rewards. They require more time to mature but are highly profitable for export-ready farmers. 6. Culinary and medicinal herbs. Basil, coriander, mint, and rosemary are gaining prominence for culinary and health use. They need little space, grow quickly, and are easy to dry and package. 7. Cut flowers. In regions with access to air transport and cold chains, flowers like roses and carnations are incredibly profitable in international markets, especially in Europe. Challenges in the Southern African context. Despite the enormous potential, high-value horticulture is not without its challenges, especially in the diverse and often fragile landscapes of Southern Africa. Let me outline the most critical hurdles smallholder farmers face. 1. Limited access to quality inputs. Many farmers lack access to certified seeds, disease-resistant varieties, and reliable seedlings. Seed systems in countries like Zambia, Mozambique, and Zimbabwe are underdeveloped, often relying on informal networks or costly imports. 2. Water scarcity. With much of southern Africa being semi-arid or facing erratic rainfall, water is a persistent constraint. Crops like tomatoes and greens need a steady supply, yet most smallholders depend on rain-fed systems and lack irrigation infrastructure like drip kits or boreholes. 3. Soil degradation. Repeated cultivation without adequate nutrient management leads to depleted soils. Many farmers can't afford fertilizers or organic compost, creating poor conditions for high-value crops. 4. Post-harvest losses. Horticultural produce is highly perishable. Without cold storage or transport infrastructure, much of the harvest spoils before reaching the market. This leads to significant income losses and discourages investment. 5. Market access. Even when quality produce is grown, farmers struggle with poor road networks, lack of price information, exploitative middlemen, and competition from imports. Supermarkets demand consistency, packaging, and year-round supply, which fragmented smallholder systems struggle to provide. 6. Limited access to finance. Formal banking is often out of reach for smallholders who lack credit history or collateral. Microfinance exists, but is often poorly structured or too limited in scale. 7. Technical knowledge gaps. High-value crop production requires skills in integrated pest management, irrigation scheduling, disease identification, post-harvest handling. But extension services are overstretched, particularly in remote areas. Without training, adoption of best practices is slow. The role of AHASA, a model for support. This is where AHASA, the Agronomy and Horticulture Academy of Southern Africa, steps in as a catalyst for change. AHASA is not just a training institution, it is an ecosystem builder. It brings together public institutions, private enterprises, seed companies, irrigation suppliers, agripreneurs, and local cooperatives. Here's what AHASA is doing differently. Farmer-centered training, practical, field-based courses on greenhouse farming, organic pest control, irrigation, and marketing. Market linkages, connecting farmers directly with buyers, restaurants, hotels, processors, and retailers. Technology access, group negotiated discounts for certified seeds, drip kits, and tunnels. Youth empowerment. Programs like the Youth AgriStart Incubator turn backyards into income-generating hubs. Women's inclusion. Supporting female-led cooperatives in growing and packaging herbs. Policy advocacy, working with governments to push for better rural infrastructure, irrigation investment, and farmer financing. Do we continue on a path of subsistence and struggle, or do we invest in a future where even the smallest farm can become a hub of productivity, resilience, and prosperity? High-value horticulture is not a silver bullet, but it is one of the most practical, scalable, and impactful strategies we have to enhance food security, increase incomes, empower youth and women, and build resilient, sustainable farming systems. With institutions like AHASA lighting the way, and with the right investment in infrastructure, knowledge, and markets, we can unlock the potential of every smallholder farmer. Let us not wait. Let us plant the seeds of transformation today. Because the future of African agriculture is not in vast plantations, but in empowered smallholders cultivating crops of high value and even higher hope.
Thank you.
Agri-pedia, your online farming solution.